Hello everyone, and welcome to the Little Blue Fly. This short video segment is going to be so different from anything else I have ever shared because it's my first experience ever being caught up in a scam, and I felt that by sharing this, maybe it might help others that are not aware of what's going on out there in this world. So I won't mention the name of the very popular retail family store that we were shopping at, but we decided to go there last evening. My husband and two daughters and myself, because the girls wanted to get new swimsuits for the summer and the pool and everything to start swimming this weekend. So anyhow, we went to the store, and as the girls were shopping for their swimsuits, I went into the back of the store because I thought, I'm getting ready to start decorating the porch, and I want to see what they have back here. So when I was in the back with my cart, my husband was with me, this woman came by, and she had these beautiful wicker baskets in her cart. And me not knowing a stranger, I said, excuse me, but where did you get those baskets? And she kind of looked, surprised, startled a little bit, because I was thinking most people aren't used to talking to one another anymore. Anyhow, she goes down a couple aisles this way, and I said, they're so gorgeous. So then she just looked at us, and then she walked up a little bit closer, and she said, well, would you like these? She said, no, first she said, yeah, they're only $2. And we said, what? We couldn't believe it. She said, yeah, they're just $2. They're over there a couple aisles down. She goes, would you like these? And I said, oh, no, that's okay. She goes, no, really. She goes, I don't need these. She goes, I have so much. She goes, I was just picking them up because they're only $2 a piece, and some are $1. So I was like, oh my gosh. And she goes, here. And she gave me 2 of them. And then she goes, here, you can have the other 2. And I was like, oh, no, that's okay. I felt like I was putting her out of the way, which, yeah, I really was not. But anyhow, maybe I was. Anyhow, so she gave me the other 2. So it's the 4 large ones that you see right here. So my husband and I said, see if she's telling the truth. Scan the tag, because the store has these scanner machines in them, right? And so my husband went and he scanned the tag, and sure enough, it said $2. But the funny thing was, it showed something completely different. I think it was a black basket. I think it was. I know the color was black, but it said $2. And we were like, okay, yeah, because, they're not being, real specific in their tags because they're clearancing these. So what did I do? I'm ashamed to admit this. Me and my greedy self went to go find that shelf because I thought, oh my gosh, $2 a basket. I need more of these, right? So anyhow, we go over there, and we didn't make it there yet. We're going down the aisle. I'm like, where's it at? And then we looked over where she was at, and it's like her antennas were up, right? And she's like, just go down there. Go to the left and go down there. And we were like, okay. So, we went down there, and we came across the shelf. You couldn't miss it because it had these I think they were yellow tags on them. And sure enough, it was saying $2 and $1. And I was like, oh, there's no more baskets. But I noticed on the end cap, the one up at top, the little narrow, the shorter one here was there, and I thought, ooh, maybe this one is just $1. So I put it in the cart. And we just, went on, shopping around the store. We actually closed the store down. They even shut the lights down to say, hey, people, get out of our store. We're ready to go home now. So, we were just looking at different things and grabbing different things. And Then we went up to the check stand. And my daughter, she went ahead and started scanning things out for me. And she scanned the first basket, and it said $25. And my husband and I said, what? No, because we know, because we just scanned one, and it was $2. So then they went and they got another basket, my husband and daughter, and they scanned the next basket, and sure enough, that one came up $2. So I was sitting there going, oh, because look, when I found out I was going to get these baskets for just $2, I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, this couldn't be any more perfect. What a gift. This is wonderful. And, I'm getting ready to do all this decorating outside. And I was just so happy. But then when I saw the 25, I thought, oh no, is it not $2? And I immediately said, call the manager. Let's get the manager over here. Let's see what's going on. This is where it gets very, very interesting. A man in some security lost prevention type of vest approaches us. And I'm like, what's going on? So the gentleman, the loss prevention, he said, he had his hand on his chin and he goes, can I ask you guys a random question? And we said, sure. He goes, did a woman by chance give you these baskets? And we said, she sure did. We were in the back. And I went up to her. I says, excuse me. Where did you get those baskets? And then she gave them to us. And he said, well, what did she say? And we told her, well, she was telling us how they were on sale over in this certain area. She was pointing to where it was at. And then she even helped us again because we really couldn't find it. But then she said, well, I can give these to you because I don't need them. She said, I was just picking them up because they're just $2 a piece. And, I really couldn't pass up the deal, but I really don't need these. And then she offered us the baskets and we told her, no, it was okay. But no, she insisted and she gave us all 4 of the baskets. Then he informed us that she had been in the store for quite some time and they had been following her on camera. And we were like, oh my gosh. Okay. So my heart's beating. I'm like, am I going to get arrested? What's going on here? So at this time, it's just I'm feeling all kinds of not good. So anyhow, he came and so we were telling him one rang for 25 and this one rang for 2. And he said, well, let me show you why. And he goes to the tag and he said, this one for $2. And he peeled off the sticker. And we were like, what? He said, we caught her in the middle of her scam. What she was doing is she was going to these items that were on the shelf for $2. She was taking the sticker off of those items and putting it over the barcode on these baskets. So we interrupted. I didn't realize I was talking to a professional shoplifter. We interrupted her right in the middle of her scam. I was just like, oh my gosh. And that's why one of the baskets had the sticker because she wasn't able to get the others on there. So we were like, oh my gosh. And so then he went on and explained that this individual fit the exact profile of their usual suspects. And let me tell you, this profile looks like your everyday put together neighbor. I am not even kidding you. And she was even an older woman at that. I mean, knowing she knew way better. Okay. Way better. So anyhow, he went ahead. So, he pulled off the sticker and he said, well, I feel, how did he put it? I think he said he felt, because, no, I don't know if he said he felt sorry or bad or whatever, but he said, because you were placed in the middle of this scam, he goes, I'm going to go ahead and honor your price of $2 a basket. So I had 5 baskets, and they were at, well, 25 a piece, but the shorter one, maybe not. Maybe the shorter basket could have been 15 or whatever. So say $115 in baskets, and he gave them to us for $10 a basket. I mean, $10 for all of the baskets. But, at that point, it just still, it didn't even really feel good, because we were in shock, and I was all scared going, oh my gosh, I could have really, really, really got in trouble here. I truly interrupted this woman switching out her tags. So probably what happened is she probably thought that we were, those undercover type of people that, they place in stores for people who do have theft. And that's probably why she gave us the basket. I mean, we're assuming, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how that brain works, but that's just what we're thinking, right? So we get there. So as we're checking everything out, he came back, loss prevention, and he said, here's her cart right here. He goes, does this look like her cart right here? And I said, both of us, we said, oh my gosh, yeah, that's her cart. She had all sorts of items in there. And he said, when she came up here to check things out, and it was, again, right when store was closing, it must have been before us because we didn't see her. He said, we told her that we could help her, and she goes, no, that's okay. I need to look over here really quick. And he said she left the basket there, everything in it, and she just paid for flowers. So obviously, that's right. That's when he told us she felt that we were undercover and that basically she was going to get caught. And that's why she left everything. So, the moral of the story is, right? It's just be honest. Just be an honest person. And because look, it got us $115 or maybe a little more of baskets for just $10. And that was so kind of the individual to honor the price. But so then the store was closed. We were the last ones in the store. And then another worker, I don't know if it was a manager or what, was standing there with the officer and said, we were just looking at you because we were wondering, are they part of a theft ring? Are they together? Was she maybe just handing it off to these people? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get arrested. They are going to arrest me right now. I was scared half to death. And so anyways, we were able to laugh about it. And I asked my husband, well, I basically told him, I said, look, go out there, go get the Jeep, come back, park right in front of the store, because then someone said, well, maybe she could be waiting, or they could be waiting out in the parking lot, waiting to jump us or whatever, because we interrupted her theft. And I was like, I was done at that point. And I was like, Bev, why are you out here shopping this late? Well, I'll tell you why. Because my daughters were pressing us. They were pressing us because they wanted these swimsuits, and it was just later. And so anyhow, we don't go out later anymore at all. Husband pulls the Jeep up to the front of the store. They help us place everything in. And because I was so paranoid and scared at this moment, I told my husband, take a detour. Take a detour because we had vehicles behind us, and what if it was them? I didn't want them to know where we were living. So we took a detour, and the girls were happy because they got drive-through Taco Bell. So anyhow, I just had to share this with you because I could not believe stuff like this takes place. When we got home, I called my friend in California and she goes, "Oh my gosh, yes, Bev." She goes, "This happens all the time." And I'm like, how come she knows about this and I don't know about this? So, I guess ignorance is bliss, but then, is it really? It really could have went sideways, right? It really could have been worse. There could have been a weapon. There could have been anything, her getting upset because she couldn't get what it was that she was trying to get. I could go on and on and on about it. But anyways, I had to share this with you all today to get it off my chest. I mean, what a shopping experience. So I just told my daughters from here on out, we don't go out. We don't go out in town when it is dark. We get our things done during the day. Maybe it's safer then. I don't know. I don't know. But anyhow, I hope you all have a wonderful Memorial weekend, and you should see me really soon, and I will be decorating the front porch.